What is going on, my fellow Summit Chasers, and good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody has their coffee. If you don't drink coffee, I hope you have your energy drink, your tea, your water, whatever it is that you have, your whiskey, whatever your choice is. But welcome back. We're going to be a lot more consistent with this show now that we have a very clear direction, and we have a really cool guest today. I'm very excited to bring her on, and we're going to talk about a lot of. My hoodie's going crazy today. It is freezing here. I just noticed that I looked like I was wearing some sort of cape, but that's okay. We're going to talk about the words, really in-depth topic today. Now, but we're going to talk about how you can get your message across and how you can. So many of us, especially like if you're a business owner and you love your service, you love the way you provide your service, and you have a product that you know can solve so many other problems, and you're just like, why don't people get it? Why aren't they clicking on whatever button is, whatever my call to action is on my website? Why aren't they just following through with what's on my email list or what's in my emails that I have going out to my list? So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can get your message across and how you can do it in a way that's fun, that makes you stand out, and makes people take action. But before we get into it, I was going to bring up my co-host, but she just disappeared out of nowhere. So I want to bring up my new co-host, Lucy Badawi. How we doing?
Hey, doing well. I got my coffee. I'm ready to go.
Beautiful. Are you like what kind of coffee, and what do you put in your coffee?
I drink coffee black, which some people said makes me a psycho, but I make it in a mocha pot. So my days of studying fashion in Milan really die hard. I have a whole ritual, and it takes me 30 minutes to do it because I'm literally half asleep trying to remember the steps.
Good coffee done right, I will have without anything in it.
Right. It's because then you can experience. The first time I experienced a note was a very big day. At first I was like, what do you mean it has honeycomb and raspberry? It's coffee.
Yeah. Everyone remembers their first note. It's if you have good coffee, I don't want anything in it because it's good. It's I mean, there's so many different worlds. First of all, there's the wine connoisseurs, and then there's the tea connoisseurs, and there's very devoted coffee connoisseurs where they can take all the notes and they'll know this was brewed at the wrong temperature for the wrong time and all this whatever stuff. I just wanted to get it in me. So
yeah, just in my veins. Beat me up.
Exactly. So I don't want to tell you because now I feel like kind of a sissy.
No, do it. No judgment zone. Safe space.
Well, okay, it's a little bit of brown sugar and a dash of I like heavy whipping cream. A little bit of heavy whipping cream. I used to do so back in my athlete days, which are far behind me, and I get reminded of that as I try to wake up every morning. How do you have you heard of bulletproof coffee?
Yeah, the one with the butter or the MCT oil.
Yeah, it was MCT oil. Well, you could either do MCT oil or good coconut oil, and the butter. You get good grass-fed, way too expensive butter, and you'd blend it. I'd blend it every morning. So you'd make it you have to make it way too strong, and then you have to blend it and then heat it up again. And it was so, if you got it right, it was so, a little bit of honey too. If you did it right, it was so good. And then I wouldn't have to eat for 2 or 3 hours in the morning because there's so many calories in it right away, but it was really good. And I can't do that anymore because I'm not. Yeah. Anyways, I don't need to be.
No, that sounds so yummy. I treated myself to this brown sugar miso latte in a food truck nearby. And I was like, I never would have thought to put miso in coffee. The same way I never would have thought to put butter in coffee. But honestly, coffee can just take anything. I'm convinced we can just mix chicken and coffee and it'd be fine.
We can do, there's chicken and waffles, so I don't see why not. They
yeah. Thank God we're not a cooking show.
Yeah, exactly. Although I'm getting some ideas, and some of these ideas I want to share with my second co-host today, Adrina.
Hello.
Hello.
Has anything inspired you from what we've been talking about so far? Because I'm getting inspired already.
I just want more coffee, and I want a fancy coffee today. That's my inspiration so far this morning.
Yeah, you're more I can't believe it's even coffee drinker.
Oh, enough. It's true. It's true. We just started like getting back on our in gear, I'm gonna say. I was gonna say back on our shit. Didn't know if I should go in that
And then
strong
you said
already,
it
but
anyway.
here
We're
we
going
are.
in strong.
Yeah, so I was just like pouring cream, obviously same one that Zach has, and I was like, I wonder how much this is. And then I measured it one day and I was like, holy shit, like you cannot be doing 120 calories worth of creamer in the morning. So I've had to dial it back and really rein it in. And now I'm down to just like 3 servings. Like if you look at the servings in creamer, it's actually insane how much it stacks up.
Yeah, it's like a
So
TikTok
I've
size
taken
or
it down a
TikTok
notch.
size amount. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, I like cream and sugar and probably too much cream, but it is what it is.
And 3 pumps of hazelnut and
No, I can do without all that stuff
I
happily.
know. You do like a
I
latte though.
can.
But anyways, good morning, Marta. No, although Marta, she's coming in by way of LinkedIn from
Afternoon.
Poland. Yes, it'd be afternoon for you, Marta, but good evening to you. I would say I hope you have your coffee, but maybe chamomile tea might be better off for you right now, which is delicious, by the way. But anyways, get into the meat and potatoes. That was a great introduction, by the way. Thank you, Lucy. I love that. Actually talking about coffee in the coffee club. Look at that. But you, first of all, you're so good at what you do. You've done some work for us. I've seen some of your other work. I've studied your work. Really good. I don't know if I'd simply put you in the realm of just like, you're definitely not just a copywriter. But individuals who can take ideas, concepts, and like the blurry mess that's inside of entrepreneur really is like that's probably the more accurate, and then turning into something that is coherent, makes people take action, and it's clear on what action to take, and then what problem you're solving, and can convey it in a way that is a connection, creates a connection. But first I'll start with, there's one thing that I believe, I hope I'm getting this right, like you travel a lot.
I do.
You travel a lot, so you don't necessarily have like one home base necessarily that you stay at for years at a time. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, and how traveling, seeing different things, meeting different people helps with kind of develop that creativity that you have.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. You brought up like so many good points in that intro. So thank you, because one thing people have told me is you're not a copywriter. Like, stop just calling yourself a copywriter. And right now we are going through a little title identity, not crisis, but just, we'll call it a makeover. So I've actually been recently calling myself a messaging strategist or messaging specialist, along with a copywriter, because I really think it's that messaging piece that provides that base. But I've been doing this for about 4.5 years now. I started my business just after college. I had been fired from my first job after 90 days for having too many opinions, which is classic. So I actually started my business from the place of, I wanted really incredible entrepreneurs to be successful because of their boldest ideas, not despite them. So that's kind of the attitude I've brought in all the time. I'm like, tell me your craziest thoughts. Like, I'll take the rambles, I'll distill it. Don't worry. Just like, let's use this space to really go for it. And I think I really have tried to embody that in my life with travel, because I've been moving around maybe every 1 to 2 months for the past 4.5 years, running my business remotely. I will say I'm on like the slow down trajectory. I'm in Austin, Texas right now. I joined like a beach volleyball league, which honestly sounds like a house with children to me. So it's a little bit of a new season, but definitely still doing a ton of travel. I'll be in Morocco next month. And I've just loved being able to blend, like coming up with these crazy ideas for my clients. At the same time, I'm like in the jungle working off of a hotspot, being like, oh yeah, okay, I feel it, because I don't have the monotony of day to day. So I'm really able to take my brain to these creative angles that maybe no one's heard of before.
Mm-hmm. No, and you distilled that. Yeah, you distilled that very well. Like, there's not even just entrepreneurs, but people that they're in like the monotony, or they're in their corporate, cut and dry sort of jobs, and they have all these ideas. There's a lot of angst in people.
So much angst, corporate angst, even more than teenage angst.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, because you know that you can. there's something about it where like, you can do more, and you're capable of, or you have this idea that can and has potential to solve a problem or create wealth for yourself or create a life for yourself. You can go write copy and do your job in Morocco if you want to. There's a little bit of my jealousy coming out. But there is a lot of that. So what is like the first step that you would give somebody? I know whether they're an entrepreneur, actually somebody who's not an entrepreneur, because you were in that role where you had the angst, but you let it out, which was great. And then you ended
8-page document.
Yeah. Which sounded like obviously probably one of the best things that ever happened to you is losing your job. So you can start your business. But what would your advice be to those that they have that idea, that have that angst? Like, where do they start trying to put it into a like coherent picture, coherent message for themselves?
Yeah, I think I think we have to be realistic with ourselves. I know everyone will always just say like, quit the job, like whatever, but you have to ask yourself, okay, if I do quit the job, do I have any sort of safety net? And if that answer is yes, which I would argue for most people, it's yes, it might just be like a temporary lifestyle downgrade. Then it's all about, can you just get a little bit of traction and like prove this idea to yourself? Can you go to a networking event and be like, yeah, I run this company that does X, X, and X, and just like pretend you already run the company and just see the kind of response you're getting. Because the thing that's so cool about like entrepreneurs is we are way too honest for our own good. So people will tell you, they will tell you if it's a terrible idea. So but you have to put it out there. I've never believed in building in silence. I believe in building loudly, trying different messages on social media, reaching out to people in your network who maybe have done something similar, see if they can point you in the direction of resources. But I mean, no one gets anywhere by learning how to do something, because that's the thing about starting a business is you just kind of have to start it. And then you can just like fall on your face a couple times and then figure it out.
Yeah.
I like that. That's great advice. Like, just go to a networking event and try to explain it to somebody. And if they sit there, huh? Then you got some reworking. Yeah, you got some reworking to do. Because that's something we even struggled with, right, Adriana? And you can probably speak to that, like when we first started, because there's so many things. We knew what we wanted to accomplish, and we knew who we wanted to target. This was a few years ago now, but like we would try to explain what we did, and it would either sound like we were reading from like some sort of Summit Chaser Bible, and like everyone was like, oh my God. And then 10 minutes later, we'd have a conversation with somebody else, and I'd be like, huh? Do you guys Summit, you guys are mountain climbers? Well, no. Yeah. But you could probably speak a little bit to that, Adriana, even where we were.
I think, well, yeah, what Lucy said, like if you get out there and you just start talking about it, I think the more that you can verbalize it, the clearer it will become to you as well. You'll understand what's resonating with people really well. You'll understand where they're like, what are you talking about? That's really confusing. And then figure out how to distill it down. But I also think that in the first year to 2 years, you're changing things all of the time. And you are trying to figure it out as you go to understand like where you're going to land. And I think you have to be okay with maybe what you set out to do. Like Zach and I talk about this all the time. You can be married to your vision, but not how you get there. So it's got to be able to adjust with you and be flexible and understand like as long as your core like vision and mission and purpose behind the company is something that you are so committed to, just the way that you actually get there. You have to be comfortable with it not going as perfectly as you initially thought or that you initially planned. And I think that was like one of the biggest things that I've learned, and we've adjusted so many times. And I would say now we're at a point where we're incredibly clear on what we're doing and how we're getting there. And it's also the thing that's resonating the most with people that we're working with. So it's like, it takes time to get there, and you have to be okay with that. Like Lucy said, fall on your face a few times, see what doesn't work, and just figure it out.
Yeah, you look at some of the most successful entrepreneurs, if you compare where they started, like the idea that they had to like solve the problem or do whatever.
Train wrecks.
It's not good. Like I finished reading a book about it's called it was about the PayPal mafia, about like when X and PayPal were first starting out, and they wanted to bring decentralized banking and bring banking online and this kind of stuff, and how it started, the idea that they had to execute on this, and then where it became. It's like it started out they wanted to be able to beam money. I guess you kind of can. But back in the day, this technology was a lot different. They wanted to just be able to like beam money back and forth through like phone, like they were like flip phones, like horrible flip phones that were like bricks. You could throw them through walls and they'd be fine. And then it shifted to like, it shifted completely the other way, where it was like a whole, like 90% of it was on eBay. It went from like dudes being able to pay for each other's, or anybody's being able to pay for each other's, like give them, oh, you paid for dinner, cool, I'll PayPal you. It went from that to 90% on eBay, and then back to that now, kind of where it is sort of now. Now there's like Cash App and all these other things that you can use, or Zelle, but it's super interesting. But to go back to like,
I have a question for Lucy.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say is like the number one thing that a business owner can do? Let's say they're a little bit more established, so they're now clear. They know what they're doing. They have the traction. What's the number one thing that they need to do with their messaging in order to build on that traction?
I mean, if you have traction, you have people who are buying your things, and people love talking about what they're buying. So I would go to every single person who's bought your thing and ask them, why did you buy from me? Because that's going to be the best copy you're ever going to have written, is going to be straight from the mouth of your ideal client. I think I always say that that's a much easier problem if you have momentum and traction and people are buying something, because then you're like, okay, I have product market fit. This is working. A much harder problem is if you're an established business owner, you have a good offer that was performing well, and then it just stopped. And you're just thinking, okay, what the heck just happened? Because then, you know, maybe you change something. If you change something, it's definitely what you changed. But if you didn't change anything, then maybe your message is no longer relevant. Maybe a new competitor came onto the scene and you're no longer playing in your own lane. Maybe your differentiators are a little bit weak. So then I would say that's when you get to the point, if you notice something is no longer working, that's a call to go bigger in your messaging, go bolder, because my guess is you're kind of playing in a very generic zone. And maybe when you were kind of new and cool and launching, people are like, okay, it's generic, but I'm here for the vibes. But now the vibes are not pulling you where they need to go. And it's time to really dial it in and get even more specific to continue calling those people in.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, no, that's super good advice. Very, very good sound advice. There's, because you see a lot of it where, especially like if you're just starting to get that traction, a lot of times like you're selling to people. It depends on the service and product too. If it's more of like a commoditized product, then it just could be like reviews that are differentiating you on Amazon or wherever you're selling it. But especially in like this, if you're a service, a lot of times like the first people you're selling to are people that you've nurtured for a long time, or they already know who you are and you already have like relationships with them. So your communication style to them is a lot different, because they already have like a preconceived idea of what you do and the problem you solve. So communicating them is a lot easier. And if you go down like the 5 stages of like customer awareness, there's like, they don't even know they have a problem, and they don't even know that the solution to the problem exists, because they don't know to look for it at all. And then 2 is like they're problem aware, but they have no idea a solution exists. And then they're solution aware, but don't have any idea about yours. It's attracting kind of those ones. Then it's communicating to those ones to be like, oh, maybe I do have a problem. Okay, maybe I know I have a problem, and this is really clearly the solution. And it's shifting that communication to talk to people that have no idea, initially have no idea about you, who you are, how you communicate. So is that this shifting to communicate more to those, like kind of widening your funnel, I guess? Shifting the communication to those types of potential customers, is it just as simple as just going and talking to your current clients and seeing what they buy, or is there maybe another step that they could take to really start to communicate to that wider audience that isn't already aware of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I think you really have to think about your product. For a lot of people, you're doing something that has been done before. You're just doing it better. I think there's very few people who are truly reinventing the wheel. I mean, if you're listening to this coffee club and you're like inventing the first flying car, this advice is not for you. But if you're someone who is running a service-based business, there are other people doing exactly what you're doing. 100%. So it's more important for you to position the messaging piece as, this is why all the other guys just close your tabs. It's like not even worth it. You're not actually doing something in the innovation realm. So I would say your time's pretty much wasted moving to the wider audience who doesn't know you exist, and try and capitalize on the people who already want the solution you're offering. They're just trying to find the best of that solution.
I love it. I love it. Whoever's listening to this, you're getting a lot of great advice. But while we're kind of in
Take
the middle of
notes.
it, because there's still quite a few people on here, especially on YouTube. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so come hang out with me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is my right hand woman, right spelled like writing. My website is myrighthandwoman.com. And I guess you could send me an email if you really wanted to, lucy@myrighthandwoman.com.
Awesome.
I love it.
One of my favorite things about how you write content and copy and how you strategize around it is, and I think you really, really lean into this, is the boldness. Like, you are not afraid to ruffle feathers. You're not afraid to let your clients speak freely and authentically as they are. And I really, really like that, because you're right. It's about getting away from the generic messaging and making it so clear on finding your people. And I think that's something that Zach and I are now sitting in, where we're at a point where we're like, if you don't like us, it's totally fine. Go
Yeah.
find the other service provider that does the thing somewhat similarly, and they will probably be your vibe. But I love that you lean into that piece and you're like, look, this is who we are. This is how we do business. If we're for you, we're for you. If we're not, we're not. And I am totally fine with that. And I think that you leaned so heavily into that in your content. And I love it. Obviously, it's part of why it resonates so much with us too.
Mhm.
I love that you said that, because one thing I like to say, kind of in like a cheeky way, but it is true, is, your sales page should be a horror movie for the wrong person. They should land on that sales page and think, wow, I never wanted something less.
Well, I know what
I love
I'm
that.
cutting out. I know what I'm cutting out of this and posting on my socials. I love that.
I love
It's
that.
totally
Mhm.
true. Because you waste,
Yeah.
especially if you're like a solo, pretty like a really small team.
Yeah.
One of the biggest kills, and I've been here before. We still are kind of, it's something that you always struggle with, or it'll be a challenge you have to overcome, is like wasting your time.
Yeah.
Because if you're attracting everybody, a very small percentage of them would actually be a good fit. So you're wasting so much time and bandwidth. And there's nothing like especially when you're in the first year or so, of getting your hopes up with like, oh, I have 5 book sales calls this week, and then none of them are even like aware of what you do or a good fit. They can't afford it, or it's just not in your wheelhouse. It's not your vibe, like kids are saying these days. It's a pain, and it sucks, because it sucks the life out of you. So that's very, very important.
It's funny. I just literally, like I said, me and Zach are now going through this moment where we're like, hey, this is who we are. I haven't been on LinkedIn in months, like probably since November, if I had to guess. And this week I was like, I'm going to get back on. And my opening line was a Gossip Girl reference. And I was like, I don't care that this is probably not the place for it on LinkedIn. Like, I'm ready to just like be who I am and speak how I want, and like take it or leave it. And it feels really good and almost freeing to come at it at that angle. And like you said, like you're gonna find the people who are for you that way, rather than just being like every other person out there.
And we forget that we don't need that many people. I think, we have all these agencies that are probably reaching out to us being like, how would you feel if I put 50 more clients on your roster every month? And I'm like, overwhelmed. I would feel overwhelmed, Jim. Like, if you're providing a high ticket service, or even if you have a SaaS product and it's like quite an expensive product, like, you just need a few great buyers and you're golden. And then it'll expand naturally, and you won't be on sales calls more than you're actually doing the job you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And working with the right clients is like, especially when you've experienced working with not the right clients and you're kind of trying to fit the square peg in the round hole, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's
so draining too.
It's so draining, and you get that feeling of like, okay, if I lose this client, I'm never going to get another one. So you hold on to all of them as tight as you can, and you just drain yourself. And then you see a lot of entrepreneurs. That's a lot of burnout, happens that way.
Yeah.
But no, this is super, super good advice. But we're gonna put your skills to the test.
Oh gosh.
Are you
More
excited?
Coffee? Sure.
Yeah, load up. Okay, so I did a little search. And by that I mean it was very easy. It wasn't very hard to search. But I found some very odd websites. Very odd websites. They're single page websites. There's no words. Well, there's a few words in them, but not enough that people would stumble upon them and know really what they are. So what we're going to do is all three of us. We're going to take a minute on each website, and we're going to write a slogan or a tagline for these websites.
Ooh. Okay.
And then we're going to see who's, well, you're going to be the judge, but you're going to do it too. But I want you to judge me and Adrena.
Okay.
And then we'll see how much better you are than us. So we'll take a
Can
minute.
I just say,
go ahead.
can I just say my creative writing skills died in 4th grade when I wrote detective stories about my cat named Crackers. Like, I didn't get past that. So wish me luck right now.
Oh, this is gonna
Here's
do
the
we just
thing.
put it in the chat? Do I have to get like paper and a marker?
Are
Are we gonna like hold it
what do you
up like you
prefer?
belong with me style?
Whatever you prefer.
Okay.
However you feel most creative.
Okay,
that's-
I'll probably put it in the chat like
Yeah.
a
I'm
modern
already
woman.
sweating. I'm already sweating.
I'm just gonna memorize. Oh no, I have a pen. Okay, I have my trusty pen here. All right. Okay. So are you ready? So the first website. This will just be an example. I want to get you in the right mindset of
Okay.
how serious these websites are. This could change
Wow. Okay.
how the internet works today. So anyway, so this is just an example. We're not writing anything. So this is called the Hyper or Hacker Typer. See, I screwed it up there. So basically, you can come in here and just mash away on the keyboard, and it will automatically turn it into what looks like super genius code writing.
Love
And
it.
this is totally, if you have a bruised ego, you don't feel smart, go to hackertyper.com and just smack away and sit next to somebody so they can see your screen, and it'll look like you are, I don't know who it'll look like you are, but you'll look super smart. So that's an example. So you kind of
Are
see
we doing
how,
this one?
no, that was just an example.
Oh,
I
I
just wanna
I
give you
have
a-
actually see so many use cases for this. I think it's quite genius. You know, you're
Well,
in
what are the
like
use
a
cases? I
tech
kinda wanna hear.
co-working space.
Yeah, yeah, I want to hear what's a use case for this.
Like I just feel like, let's say you're in a co-working space and you are a sculptor, which is a great job, but this co-working space, you're just surrounded by tech bros and you're feeling imposter syndrome. Maybe you just need to like get that up for 5 minutes, get your confidence up, and then you'll have the confidence to like pull out your clay and sculpt.
Yeah, I know
Like a
that's
little caffeine
exactly
pill
it.
for your confidence. See, there's my tagline. I already have it.
That's perfect. That's see, it's so good. I did that. I tried to trick Adrena, although it was really obvious it's not. But I did it next to my dad, who was like 80 years old, and he was like, "I didn't know that's what you did. That's really impressive." And I was like, "Yeah." It was so much. It was fun. But anyways, if you want to impress somebody who doesn't understand how technology works, that's another use case for it. But anyways, okay. So we got, how many do we got? We got 1, 2, we got 5 of these. Okay. So here's the first official one. So this is called endless.horse. So it's just a picture of a horse, and as you scroll, it's never ending legs. Like you can scroll for a very long time, but it's endless.horse is the website. So what would be the tagline or slogan for this?
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, this is difficult.
I know you really understand your brain and who you are a little bit more when like where your brain goes, like the first place your brain goes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got mine. Where are we putting this in the chat?
I'm not putting in. I don't want there to be a record of things.
Oh, I'm going in the chat.
Yeah, you can go in the chat. That's
Yeah,
totally
people like come for me.
fine. My mic's really sensitive, so I don't want people to hear my sounds like a stampede when I type.
Okay.
Okay, who wants to go first?
You should go first.
Yeah, Zach, go ahead.
So have you heard the term like chase the magic dragon?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's like it's stupid. It's for it like people doing heroin. Like when they do heroin, you're like, oh, you're about to chase the magic dragon, sort of thing. But anyways, it was chase the magic.
Zach, that's not how I had heard of it. I was thinking of Puff the Magic Dragon.
No. Chase the. Yeah, no. Anyway,
No, I don't know it then.
chase the It was, chase the magic hoof, enjoy the journey because the destination will never be there.
That's so poetic.
Yeah.
That's really good. I rhymed like a 5-year-old. Get away from the day-to-day and scroll away, throw in an A.
That is brilliant. I love how how different we are. It's so good.
Okay. Mine was no more doom scroll, meditate with legs for days.
I love that.
You can see where your brain goes too. It's like very much like it would differentiate from the competition.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the value statement? Yeah.
That's amazing. We didn't do that. So out of ours, who's do you think would get more people to scroll?
I think I'm gonna have to give this one to Audrina.
Yeah, it's the rhyming.
The rhyming. We love a good rhyme. It like really sticks in people's mind.
Yeah, that's the thing. It stays with you.
Yeah.
It's easier to remember, right? Yeah, no, totally. Okay, this one. I don't know why I find this one funny. But basically it's called isitchristmas.com. And 364 days of the year it says no. And only one day of the year it'll say yes. So it's basically, if you want to know if it's Christmas or not, you go to isitchristmas.com.
Oh my gosh.
And again, for the most part, it'll say no. But on one fateful day of the year, it will say yes.
What's the tagline for this?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So this is okay. So I'm going with like I'm going like with parents on this one. So that's where my head is that's my ICP right now.
Parents are your ICP. I dig it.
Okay, I think I have mine.
I do too. Should we hear the professionals first?
Mine for this one is quite silly. I will wait until
Okay, go ahead.
everyone has theirs. Okay. I kept mine really simple for this one. I said, have a holly jolly answer sometimes.
I love that. I love that.
That's pretty good. See, it's the simple ones.
It's always the like 5-worders.
Yeah.
There's John's.
Ho ho ho.
I almost thought of ho ho no. Oh my gosh, John and I are on the same wavelength.
That was so good. That's amazing. Well, he's also a communications coach. Or he's not. He's a communications coach. So he's got a way with words. John's got a way with words. You just announced at a big basketball game too. I saw putting those vocal cords to work. All right, Adrina, you go ahead.
Tired of hearing yes all the time? We have a fix for that.
Watched the movie Yesterday too many times.
I love it.
Mine's silly now. I went right for like parents. Like it's completely opposite to my last approach. Hard to keep track of your kids' schedules. Take one off your plate with isitchristmas.com. So you don't have to keep track of when it's Christmas.
Why do I see that with like a cheesy like voiceover, like in between Hallmark movies, like hard to keep track?
That's what I went for. It like, where could we put this website in the most ridiculous place? But yeah. Who do you got? Well, John's in the race now.
Yeah, John's in it too.
I think John's actually.
Yeah, I think I might have to give that one to John.
Yeah, I think I'm going to too.
I love a good like harsh tagline if it works, obviously with the brand voice. But
I think so. I think that works with us. So no, that's amazing. You got that. You won that one, John. You didn't even know you were competing, and you won. You won. All right. So this one's cute. This one's gonna take some time to kind of reveal the. I'm not gonna say it's really a surprise, but reveal the point of this website. So everybody who's listening, there's some circles, and all you do is you drag your mouse all around the circles, and the circles split into multiple circles as you're doing it. And the more and more you do it, a little picture appears. And if you are somebody who likes koala bears, this one's for
damn.
you.
I was hoping it was a monkey. I was gonna
So
just say monkey see, monkey do.
It's a mummy and baby koala that gets it appears
Oh,
before your eyes
cute.
That
as
is
you.
cute.
So it's called koalas. Koalas.
To the max.
Koalas to the max. Yeah, koalas. I was like, Asto, what the heck? Koalas to the max.com. If you need some cuteness, if you feel like you need to get some angst out of your mouse finger, this is the website for you. So, we ready?
Let's do it.
You got some ideas? All right. Koalas.
Yeah, I know I have zero ideas. Ideas will
Yeah.
have to come. Yeah.
Zach, I love that you're actually writing these instead of just, saying it. He's like over here handwriting.
I'm taking this seriously, Adrena.
They're going to hire us, these websites.
For sure.
You think there's still people managing it?
How do you spell koala? Oh, I was wrong. John, I want to know oh, that's cute. Who doesn't need a hug? That's cute. John, you win.
John just needs to be up here.
All right. I'll go first.
Go for it.
This is really clever. Are you ready? Strap in.
I've never been more ready.
Good things take time. Koalas are us. That's all I got.
It's cute. That's cute. You guys went cute. Okay. That was cute. I went away from the koalas. I used the koalas as more the motivation, not the focus. Okay, so hear me out.
Koala as a medium.
Yeah, exactly. Did you just get over your carpal tunnel syndrome? Do you miss the constant pain but don't have the motivation to get it back? Koalas to the max.com is for you. Because that took me a long time.
Zach, you're doing like full infomercials.
I was about to say, I was like, what is this tagline?
You're missing your calling over here. I feel like you need to go into infomercial writing.
I know. And I actually got my carpal tunnel back trying to write all this down fast enough. So.
I bet you did.
we're good here. Yeah, but yeah, that is my calling. I talk. I talk. I do keynote.
You're a
so
talker.
it's like I draw things out sometimes. But anyways, what did the pro come up with?
I came up with create koala art without lifting a mouse.
Oh, you can really
cute.
see who the professional is here. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Mission statement, John.
Yeah, mine's more of a mission statement than it is like that's too funny. All right, who do you got, pro? John. John was in there.
I have to say the most persuasive was Zach, but we are any more lines we're getting into commercial territory, and then you're going to leave the tagline competition.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my own.
And you made the rules too. Come on now.
Hey, look, we talked to like entrepreneurs have angst and they want to like break out and do their. I'm just whatever. Okay, I can't defend myself anymore. All right, we got two more. This one, I'm just. Which
do they get weirder or do they get like more normal?
I don't. That's subjective. I think.
Okay.
I don't.
Did you started with endless legs, so there's not many places to go.
I'm gonna end with what I think is the most. I don't know, these last two. I'm just gonna go for it. These last two. So it's called thefinger.com, and as you scroll, you can see my mouse. You scroll your mouse up, it flips you off. You scroll down, it points up. So
if you want to leave,
Yeah, so you can
Right.
see the mouse there, and so then that's it. It's called that'sthefinger.com.
Love
So it's this is kind of the opposite of the hacker typer one. This is
yeah.
you don't want to impress anybody in your co-working space, or maybe they found out that you're not actually a hacker and you want to send a message. That's kind of where I'm at with this one.
I'm stuck. This one's tough.
This is tough.
I mean, I have some use cases, but a slogan is tough.
I think I have something.
Okay, I think I have something too.
John.
All right. Yeah, I got your deadline right here. That's like, I picture like those old, like those 80s, 90s action movies where they always have to say something before they like kill the bad guy. Like I picture that for John.
Mm-hmm.
Like in his own action movie, maybe it's not an action movie, but like 80s action-esque movie. And he's about to quit his job, and he has his laptop. Well, there's no laptops back then, but in this case, there's laptops. And he's like, I got your deadline right here. And he spins dramatically his laptop around, and it just has this fucking finger flipping him off.
I love your
it.
brain.
Thank
The way that
That
you
was
just visualized and made up that entire story off of one line is my favorite
Yeah,
thing.
I make up stories. I'm not good at these one
No,
sentence.
it's great. We're discovering everyone's talent in this
Exactly.
exercise.
Exactly.
Your business will need a pivot. It's about to be infomercials.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think those aren't even a thing anymore, really, but I guess they kind of are, just in a different way, different medium. All right, Adriana, do you want to go first?
Sure. I've got everything you need to say in one place.
Oh,
Oops, I didn't mean to share that from there. Delete. Hold on. That's what I got. Everything you need to say in one place.
I like it.
That's really good.
Yeah, because I mean, well, we talked about the diversity and like how many use cases there is for just the word fuck.
Yeah.
Like literally everything.
That YouTube video is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're welcome, John. You like the movie I just put you in? I cast you in. All right. So mine is I don't know about you, but nothing motivates me more than a fuck you. I'm improving.
That's really good. That is really good.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I love it.
Not be the infomercial. So
it's true though. Like sometimes you need a good fuck you to like light the fire under your ass, and just go for it.
Yeah, we're all different, and that's just me. I know what our ICP would be.
I took a more niche approach. I said the ultimate response after they ghost.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, we were just talking about like, I could fill up your calendar, and then half of them don't show up, and then you just send them an automated email.
Could you imagine?
Like, that's the finger.com.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, my clients are going to be like, what should my email sequence be after a lead doesn't sign? And I'm like, I got you. We're going to send one link.
All of a sudden, this site's views go through the freaking roof.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my god. Okay, all right. Serious people. This last one. Look, for those of you that are going to be watching the replay and they're watching this now, this is a website that, we've heard the term with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Once you've been given this power, don't overuse it. Respect
Don't abuse it.
and but again, if you use it properly, this could be very powerful. So this website is called eelslap.com. So it's basically a dead eel and a guy.
Oh my God.
You swipe your mouse from left to right, and as you do it, it slaps the guy with a dead slimy eel.
Gross.
So this could really send a message. It could be interpreted many different ways depending on the relationship with the person you're sending it to. But like I said, use this appropriately. What do we got? What's our tagline?
Wait, did Lucy pick the winner of the last one?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think the last one, this might be a cop out, but that's okay. I think that last one might be a tie. I thought both of yours were really good.
I'll take a tie.
They're good for different reasons.
Yeah.
I'll take a tie.
I'll take it.
That works.
I will take it. So anyway, so eelslap.com.
Oh, I just made myself giggle with mine. That's gonna be really embarrassing if you guys don't find it funny.
We'll laugh.
I will find it funny just because we won't find it funny if it's not funny. Your idea slaps. So, see, John's so positive.
I know. Your idea that's so cute, John.
That is so cute.
Yeah,
that is the complete opposite of the monstrosity I came up with.
You can take a guy getting slapped in the face fairly hard with an
make
eel
it cute.
and make it positive.
Yeah.
Make it positive.
Go, John. You're a better man than all of us. Zach, are you ready?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. We've got the eel. You pick the person.
I find it funny because you found it funny. That.
You don't actually think it's funny?
Yeah, I find it funny.
It is funny.
I like it. That'd be genius in this if you could, because with AI you could like the deep fakes, like you could put anybody's face on that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, here's
I'm ahead of the times.
You just lost your job like after 90 days, and the boss was like, you have too many ideas, stop speaking up.
Which is the dumbest reason to fire somebody.
Yeah.
But that's why this is a good example of a time to use it. You can put their face on this guy's face and then slap them with an eel.
I honestly feel like the last site is a better use case for that.
That's true.
That's true. I mean, it's for sure. Yeah, yeah, I guess it can be used for clients, ghosting clients. You send this to clients.
Honestly, this is not what I came up with, but I feel like a good tagline for this would be like the equivalent when you don't have a dartboard, we got this for you.
Oh,
I like that.
But that's not what I came up with. What I came up with was way worse.
I just got a vision of Miss Trunchbull with the kids on her dartboard in the school of Matilda, like with Matilda. That's immediately what I just got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine is, this means exactly what you think it means.
I like that.
I like
Leave it up to their own interpretation.
Leave it up to their own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I said the most appropriate way to reprimand slimy behavior.
Oh, Lucy.
It's like brought back
You're
to slime.
so good. You're so good. I was trying to figure out slime and my brain just couldn't make it happen. I love that.
So good. And if you look close, like there is like the slimy goo that.
Yeah, it's really a image.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't want it up there anymore.
Good call.
All right, who are you picking?
I pick Lucy. Personally, that's my vote on all of them.
I mean, yeah, that's why she was the judge, and then we could compare ours to, yeah.
I think just because it was so like cheeky and random, I'm gonna have to give it to Audrina for this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like,
think
I
that
feel
means
like
I
people
won.
would remember that and they
remember.
would like make a meme out of that. And that would be good for marketing.
It would be. Yeah. I'm more creative than my Detective Cat crackers than I thought. That's what I learned.
It's coming back. 4th grade and 2025. It's like a
Literally.
two-pronged.
I love it.
Yeah.
You surprise yourself all the time. You're like, I suck at this, and then you do it, and you're like, oh wait, I guess I'm pretty good. So this
Sometimes.
is not surprising. Congratulations, Adrena. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for whooping my butt, and thank you, John, for jumping in.
Yeah.
You took one there too. If it wasn't for you jumping in, I
Mhm.
might have not had a chance. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You weren't supposed to agree with that like so aggressively.
She's like, yeah, Zach, you sucked.
It is what it is.
The third
right,
party vote
infomercials.
really just took away.
I get it. I'm more of an infomercial person. That's fine. It's fine. It is what it is.
Hey, but here's the bright side. We have discovered a talent you might not have even known you had.
That's
Yeah,
right.
And now you could potentially start an infomercial commercial for your new service-based business.
You guys will see me at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Showcase.
I think that you could be the voice person too, though. Like, I think you could write it and be the voice.
Well, that's nice of you to say.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
nice of you to
Because
say.
you've got the right tonality of it for it.
Who's your first client? Show yourself in the comments. Who wants them to write an infomercial for you?
Is it me and John together? We'll lend our voices to something.
Yeah.
I don't know what yet, but I like it. But no, thank you very much for coming on, Lucy. That was so much fun.
That was so
That was
fun.
fun.
Did you was there anything did you learn something? Did something surprise you? Is there maybe it motivated you to start another business of like ridiculous websites
Oh my
to
gosh.
write catchphrases for? Some of these websites are like
Wild.
why like endless horse, like just
I think the biggest takeaway for anyone who isn't sure if their idea is good enough, it is.
it is.
Period.
Yeah, exactly.
To bring it full circle.
Yeah.
Just go for it. There's nothing
That's
too
great.
ridiculous. There's a market for everything. So absolutely. Very sound advice that goes along with all the other sound advice that we got from you, Lucy. What are some parting words for our listeners and watchers from you, Lucy?
I think parting words is really go for it in your message. So much of messaging is quite subjective. I wish I had a formula. I could be like, download my freebie and like elevate your sales. But like, I don't, because the thing about messaging is just really getting into the heart of what you actually want to say, having the courage to say it, saying it in a lot less words than you're probably saying it in, and then just finding these fun, creative angles to really talk about the value instead of what it is at face value. So those are my final words.
Again, extremely sound, amazing advice. Lucy, thank you so much. Adrena, thank you so much for whooping my butt. I really appreciate everybody who showed up and joined in on the conversation. Until next time, everybody, keep chasing your next summit.